Dark City seeks to understand the uncanny and the unknown, the unseen eldritch forces that lurk in the shadows and direct our fates. This channel seeks an objective and empirical analysis of seemingly otherworldly phenomena. Codes, symbolism, and secret languages are embedded everywhere around us. Media, the black mirror through which most view the world, has cast a spell upon the populace. Media's true purpose is couched in the very terms chosen to describe its functioning. From the use of television programming to broadcasting, its terms convey the utilization of a dark magic. It is a form of hypnosis at best, or something much darker at worst. Once again, come gaze into the black mirror and observe how the insidious technologies of Severance are but reflections of the same in Dark City.
Who are you?
The series Severance raises interesting questions about consciousness and identity. The premise of the show is intriguing because it parallels a suspicion I have had in regard to where my body might go or how it might be used when I sleep. I often feel unrested when I rise in the morning and sometimes experience muscle aches and pains, as well as small wounds or scratches I cannot recall sustaining while awake. I also awaken often having memories of dreams that seem to be more of actual events that happened rather than the more etheric, otherworldly substance of dreams. I often visit the same dreamscape, the very familiar environment with the very same atmospheres and feelings. And I wonder if this is indicative of a bleed-through or a reintegration, as it is referred to in the series. The series premise is an apt analogy for the human experience, especially when considered from a religious perspective, with the soul being trapped in the physical body seeking transcendence. From the opening shot, we see a birthing image. Or is it a death image? The table is framed such that it could represent a womb or a coffin, a parenthetical trap, signifying the innie's inescapable environment in which she will remain from the womb to the tomb. The first spoken words uttered in the series are,
Who are you?
These three words echoing the question each human asks upon being thrust into this world. The worksite's location being located deep underground signifies the fall, being born into and as the result of original sin. A subsequent installment will examine the show's use of symbolism, subliminal messaging, and the predictive programming employed within the narrative. When one learns to speak the language of his rulers, then no secrets can be kept and no clues escape his attention. Keep asking the right questions. The 1990 film Total Recall explores similar themes. The main character, Quaid, is a former intelligence agent who was deactivated and now lives a mundane life ignorant of his former activities. During a memory implant procedure, his former identity is uncovered or reactivated. In the film, recreational memory packages have become commonplace. They are a luxury consumer experience that allows its customers to implant memories in their minds of having visited exotic locations, while living lifestyles and donning alternative identities without incurring the expense or danger that comes with them. Two scenes of interest are eerily parallel to the themes and questions raised by Severance and merit a mention in the current discussion of self, memory, and identity.
Don't take my word for it.
Someone you trust wants to talk to you.
Who is it this time? My mother? Howdy, Quaid. If you're listening to this, that means that Quado is dead and you have led us to him. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Sorry for that shit I've put you through, but hey, what are friends for? I would like to wish you happiness and long life, old buddy. But unfortunately, this is not gonna happen. You see, it's my body you've got there, and I want it back. Sorry to be an Indian giver, but I was here first. So, adios, amigo, and thanks for not getting yourself killed. Hey, maybe we meet in our dreams.
A similar lack of humanity is displayed in Severance, when Helly R is confronted by her Audi over the attempted disfigurement. A look of sheer horror and disbelief overcomes her expression as she witnesses the indifference of her Audi, the side of her that dwells in the mysterious world beyond her own, who assented to the process that condemned her to this unimaginably cruel fate. Of particular interest is the level of horror and distress expressed by the victims who are subjected to these insidious procedures. Quaid's discovery that he had assented to the procedure parallels Helly's predicament. We can see the sheer horror and disbelief in both characters at the realization that their suffering came at their own hands. This process of self-awakening and transformation is deeply symbolic.
Come in, Mrs. Quaid.
I love you.
Right. That's why you tried to kill me.
No, I'd never do anything to hurt you.
Bullshit.
What's bullshit, Mr. Quaid? That you're having a paranoid episode triggered by acute neurochemical trauma? Or that you're really an invincible secret agent from Mars who's the victim of an interplanetary conspiracy to make him think he's a lowly construction worker? Stop punishing yourself, Doug. You're a fine, upstanding man. You have a beautiful wife that loves you. But you've got to want to return to reality. Swallow this.
What is it?
It's a symbol of your desire to return to reality.
All right. Let's say you're telling the truth and this is all a dream. Then I could pull this trigger and it won't matter.
It won't make the slightest difference to me, Doug. But the consequences to you would be devastating. In your mind, I'll be dead, and with no one to guide you out, you'll be stuck in permanent psychosis. The walls of reality will come crashing down. 1 minute, you'll be the savior of the rebel cause, and the next thing you know, you'll be Cohagen's bosom buddy. But in the end, back on Earth, you'll be lobotomized. So get a grip on yourself, Doug, and put down that gun. Swallow it.
This is a perfect example of the form of deception designed to lure the awakening soul back into the system of deception. It is a part of the morphing labyrinth. The deceiver knows full well that he is lying and that his target's perception is accurate. Yet, he proceeds to manipulate Quaid into questioning his own faculties and perception of reality. This is a diabolical level of manipulation and psychological coercion. It elicits such shock, confusion, and doubt as to strain one's sanity to the point of breaking. The technologies presented in Severance and Total Recall are not fictional. The search for methods of mind control and the creation of programmed sleeper agents evolved out of the CIA's MK Ultra project, which began back in the 1950s. More on this later. The agency became interested in creating programmable assassins who could be activated remotely to carry out objectives and then be deactivated without having any memory of the act. An assassin of this nature creates plausible deniability for the agency. If the assassin was caught, no secrets or motives could be revealed to the enemy. This required the creation of an alternate identity within the subject's mind, an identity whose memories were compartmentalized and isolated from those of the host. The severed process is a more literal interpretation of the process developed by the CIA. Rather than reliance on a psychological mechanism, a chip is implanted in the subject to dissociate the two identities and keep their memories compartmentalized. Successful applications of the methods and techniques, the MK Ultra project designed to achieve complete and remote control of the mind of an individual, eventually evolved into more subtle and diffuse methods of control to be applied more broadly upon the entire social group. This is the primary focus of this channel. We are what we remember. Identity is constructed based upon past experiences, on memories. Technology that alters this most profound sense of self will change who we are at our core. How can we ever truly know who we are? How can we possibly know if the memories we possess are authentic? Could we not awaken at any moment possessing the memories of someone who has never existed, programmed with a storehouse of memories created artificially and implanted into our minds? Would our former self not cease to exist? And what would become of the person who existed before these new memories? As the first scene opens amid a black screen, the first words the viewer hears are, "Who are you?" A deceptively simple question that many struggle to answer. From the outset, the show seeks to explore the true depth of this question. Specifically, what is a self, and how does memory and identity relate to whatever the self is? Who are you? Can you ever really know? Even those who believe they have an answer may find themselves uncertain, especially when confronted with knowledge that technology exists to alter, erase, or even reprogram one's identity. Perhaps a man is never born but manufactured, his memories implanted by some supernatural or technological means. Perhaps the identity in past life is programmed into his mind, and when he awakens into this new timeline, all memory immediately conforms to the new reality, leaving no possible way to recall who he once was. If such a technology as that depicted in Severance exists, it renders our identity suspect, for if our memories can be so easily fragmented and severed, we would never have any certainty as to who we are. Like Helly R., upon hearing the first words, "Who are you?" uttered into the blackness of Severance's opening scene, we too would be left disoriented and confused. We would be forced to rely on the testimony of others, those who had come before us. Sound familiar? The examples of technology depicted in these films are reflections of the same technology that exists in our reality. Evidence clearly proves that intelligence agencies have conducted research into these same areas of memory, identity, and mind control. Are we to believe their research was unsuccessful? How can we ever be certain that we have not been severed? Perhaps when we go to sleep at night and our consciousness slips away, our bodies are commandeered by some other consciousness that resides within us, that takes control as the we that we are. In this reality lies dormant somewhere in the depths of the mind. Have you ever awakened feeling unrested with muscle aches and strange wounds to which you cannot ascribe a cause? Your entire neural system is being rewired. The neural network is being attuned to a series of dysgenic and maladaptive behaviors designed precisely to keep you disconnected, not only from others, but from your true sense of self. Followers of Dark City will come to truly understand the language of the Dark Ones. If we are to free ourselves from the programs that determine our fate, we must first learn the language of our programmers. You are gazing into a literal black mirror. As you stare into the blackness, into the interminable abyss, someone or something stares back into you. Time loses all meaning, and all sense of self is dissolved. You are lost in its depths. The demons possess you through this portal. Like a labyrinth, the black mirror is a rabbit hole down which you are forever tumbling and from which you may never return, and your self-image will be remade into whatever form the dwellers within the darkness of the black mirror want you to be.
And start asking the right fucking questions.